Hey everybody, JB back with you once again, and welcome to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, Case 3, Recipe for Turnabout. We are at our first day of trial for this case, and right in front of us is Maggie, still wearing her waitress outfit, I guess. And we don't really have a whole lot to go off of, which I guess is kind of the norm for these first days in court. We do know that there's a guy who's been impersonating us and seemingly trying to get Maggie found guilty for some reason. We briefly saw what we think is him yesterday at the park. He didn't sound anything like us at all. And yeah, other than that, the only other thing that the things actually that we know are that the owner of the restaurant where Maggie works, Jean Armstrong, is apparently deep in debt, and there's the lottery tickets that the defendant had that Mr. Armstrong tried to steal but didn't, and we don't know where that ended up going. So yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions here. We also don't know anything about the victim other than that he worked at like a computer company or something. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggie! Oh, it's Gumshoe. Ack! Detective Gumshoe! Are you doing alright? How are you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let him get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Aw, he's concerned about her. Roger! And you! Yes? You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. What does that mean? Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. Man, I cannot talk this morning. I think he's serious. Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, right? Yup. So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Oh, of course. I've got the situation under control. I'm going to be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Oh, don't worry, we're really good at that. Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You get me? Alright, we get you. I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should go all pretty smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. Alright, well this is our first time in court since our imposter showed his face, so let's see how this goes. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, first cup of coffee. Ah, bitter. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Ah! What's wrong? Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You's talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? I don't think he's ever called us that before. So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you're a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. Yeah, we don't really know why. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. But what was the evidence presented in the last trial? I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation? Witness, state your name for the court! Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective. Occupation, Dick Gumshoe. That'll do, I guess. Other way around, Detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation's tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control. For everyone's sake. For sure. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc., a local company. I don't know if I'd want to be a part of a computer company called Blue Screens Inc. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. Glenn's autopsy report added to the court record. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. That's interesting. The last time we had an autopsy report that didn't really have like a specific time was Turnabout Goodbyes in the first game. And in that case, we ended up having to question the initial time that we thought the victim was dead. Which kind of makes me wonder if something similar is at play here. And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. Okay, so there are booths across from the booths we were looking at. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused? Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. John Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. Mr. Kudo has a big nose. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Tribulations floor plans. Blueprints of the crime scene. X equals victim's seat. Come, detective. Take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. You can tell he really doesn't want to be here. The incident. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, and what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch, and it looks like Miss Bird might have, well, some kind of a motive. That's kind of vague. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you, that wasn't me. I can see the other guy using intimidation. I don't really know if we have any evidence that refutes any of this stuff. I mean... Just gonna see here what all we have. Yeah, I don't really see anything. Let's just press away. Can I stop you for just a minute? Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And I... What killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction? Hey, sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. There are 2 testimonies tie up on that. They both said that there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Let's press harder. Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. Ha! That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations, trite. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population, the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place. Oh, this is the judge. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place, correct? I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime, how, Mr. Tride, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? So, did Mr. Armstrong take that photo? Irk. It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Crime photo added to the court record. A photo of the scene taken from near the kitchen. Okay. I guess we'll just keep going here. He was listening to his radio, you say? Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket. Maggie told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Let's keep going. And what was it that the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe? Huh? How should I know? Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere. This isn't going very well, is it? Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used? Well, that got us nowhere. So traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else? Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid, or was it a powder? Yeah, I was wondering about that yesterday. If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. Ha. Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite? No, that's not the question. The question was, could the thing have been hidden in the salt and pepper? But I guess no one would really reach for those, so... The victim took his coffee black, with no sugar. It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? I guess we can press on all these things. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Oh hey, you're right. That's what I was thinking. In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece of evidence? That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? This. Hey, should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the, victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh, yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him. Like this. Erg! Also, we got that coffee off our face pretty quickly. For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victim's and the defendant's. Coffee cup added to the record. The coffee contained potassium cyanide, covered in the victim and Maggie's fingerprints. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. Potassium cyanide? I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is this poison, Detective Gumshoe? It's, well, that stuff's lethal. Eat too much and you're history. How much is too much? A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off. 0.2 grams? How much is that? Like 20% of a gram? You know, when you swap your ears for earwax? Yeah, about that much. Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. Curious about this. Some kind of a motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion. You know what my golden rule is, Detective. Check out a bad cup of coffee, you can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. Go! So stick to the facts, Detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Let's press harder. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. Ha. I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. What? That's the $500,000 lottery ticket? One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. Oh. What? Order! Order! Ha. She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You might say she's Maggie Bird. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately! I'd better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. Victim's lottery ticket added to the court record. A winning ticket for $500,000, found during a body search of Maggie. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial, too. But it feels heavier now, somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. That's enough! The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit the crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There is also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. So here's the only thing that's a little fishy about this. If the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece to hear the winning numbers, how could Maggie have known what the winning ticket even was? I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. Oh no, not another piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggie? This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like... It can't be blood, can it? Wait a minute, how are we going into blood now? I mean, wasn't he poisoned? Ha, it seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. So that's a different bottle than the one that we picked up yesterday. A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket? Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What? Order! 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 The court will accept these items into evidence. Apron, worn by Maggie at the time of the incident, has a small pocket but big stains. Potassium cyanide added to the court record. A deadly powdery poison. Bears Maggie's fingerprints found in her apron pocket. Okay, so that is powder then. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the blood stain to the court? Yeah. Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Can you not see the bloodstain? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. You don't need to be told, just look at it. Well, detective, could this stain really be blood? Interesting that you can't see it. No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron while taking someone their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Pull a stunt like that again, and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. I thought everyone knew what it was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. Oh, this is not a good sign. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence, they have all been clearly established. Well, Trite, it seems you really are a phony after all. Arg, you really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. Alright, the investigation. Crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, try it. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So, let the fun begin. Alright, I noticed one statement that felt a little absolute there toward the end. Nothing else was missing from the crime scene. I don't know if this counts, because it technically was at the restaurant, which is the crime scene. I'm just gonna look here. I'm just seeing if there's anything odd about this picture that we didn't notice last time, other than the fact that it's just the victim. It doesn't really seem like it, though. Okay. I'm gonna try presenting the sports paper. No, okay. That did not go very well. Alright, let's just press everything. Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe? There's an old man who's a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened. We're obviously talking about the same old man. Officers were dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? Then he hurled abuse at them, and seeds. Seeds? Ha, it was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. I'm sure you did, Godot. I guess not even the mighty Godot can avoid being attacked by that guy. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone, apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. Okay. How long was the defendant unconscious for? The officers got to the crime scene at around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at that time. It took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. So she was in the kitchen. So that was behind the doors where it was out of sight of everything. So anything could have happened in there. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself. I bet you would have liked to have carried out the search, too. I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that, all pretty and peaceful. Don't say it like that. You're a professional Detective Gumshoe, not a professional bird watcher. Save the romantics for your own time, Detective. All we need to know about is the investigation. Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I? He didn't have any? Are you saying that it was stolen then? No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet. Not enough to pay for a meal at Tribulations. 58 cents? Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. I wonder if we had to press that specific statement. Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, that. He's so let down, he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glenn Elk visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court. Also, his name seems to be printed on that thing. What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more? Let's ask about the bag. So what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Oh? Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty. Victim's prescription bag added to the court record. Ha. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Desperate are you, Trite? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, Detective? When Maggie... Just do this here. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? Hey, yeah, you've nailed it, pal. Happens to me all the time. We had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes. Yeah, I can imagine that happening at a party. Keep up this crazy testimony, Detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat. Yikes. Sorry. So, Trite, someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence? Well, I'd love to if I had any. It appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Thanks for not giving us the opportunity there. I'm kind of glad. Continue with your testimony, weakness? Or witness? Weakness. I don't know why I subconsciously went there. Whoops. Q. There we go. So the $500,000 lottery ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah. Interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for. But wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day? Oh yeah, the one the restaurant owner took. He won a whole dollar with it. What a lucky guy, huh? And they're just going to let him get away with it. Is this $1, detective? I guess no one cares when it's that little, except for Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with, and we can't find any contradictions if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true. But Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe, be the dumbest you've ever been. Alright, I don't really know if there's... Hang on a sec. Should we present this because the bag is empty? I forgot that's the last statement. I'm gonna try it. There we go! Okay, that is right. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally. I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where, then, did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal! This is the first time that someone wants us to find contradictions. Indeed! Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? I don't know if it's the most careless thing. The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Order! Order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? Ha. That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological... Sorry. New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Oh, otolaryngological? Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? I was really worried that he was going to read Hottie Clinic, and we'd have to go back there and see that really annoying guy. Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elg found himself in a fight. A fight? He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. Erg. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. Maybe, but like, somebody who else could have just, like, taken it and put it in the coffee, right? No. Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right. But I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? I'm gonna look up the answer to this. I'm kind of worried. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, we are supposed to push it. Usually when we're given a choice like that, we have to not do it. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. Elg correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. Arg. Well, that's enough! Mr. Godot, is a detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo? The pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me. Yay! Good job, Nick. The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Ha. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Okay, we got recess. Phew, that was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir! No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I think he was trying his best not to do that. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. Okay. Well, I think we are going to return to this in the next video, so we'll stop here for now. And in the next episode, we're going to hear from Mr. Kudo. So until then, thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves today. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. So take care and catch you then.